You know, one of the best advice I got told was kids spell love Time, and that's so true. You just got to give them time, be there, be solid, and lead by example.
That was phenomenal.
Hey,
that was phenomenal. You got a wee tagline there.
Yeah, it's great. Shame on you.
Show young boys how to do this thing.
All right, well, we're back. Episode 2.
Yeah, we're back.
How did you feel after our first kōrero?
Great. Yeah, just, I don't know, it excites me from like, you know, our brainstorming to now. The fact that we've started and the pathway forward from here.
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
I think I just got to get over caring what people might think. That's it. That's it for me. It's something new. It's something different, but it's good. And I'm trying to channel into stuff that makes me feel more uncomfortable. And I've always, you know, hated being center of the attention. That was actually a big reason why I didn't want to get married. Was the whole thought of the day just being about me. I've always hated that. And then the thought of like doing a podcast when you first asked me, I was like, oh, nah, you know. Well, what if I look like an egg? What if I talk about uncontacted tribes? You know? But nah, there's been some positive feedback, which is cool. There's what I really like is, you know, a couple of the boys that are about to be dads. They're real intrigued, you know. They're real intrigued to hear about what it's like being a father. So that's cool. That's motivating.
I think from like you know, my perspective of your side is you don't know the type of experience that you've accumulated and that is worth value to people.
Yeah.
Which is the whole reason why we're here. And just how much better would our paths have been if we had those kind of people in those positions along the way as well, you know, to find out this type of information or just experiences. Not to say that we've got it all figured out, but like one thing that springs to my mind before I became a father, I actively, and I'm lucky enough that, you know, by being in the gym and the communities, there was a whole lot of people of various ages within those communities. So I'd always make an effort to ask fathers and grandfathers and even mothers and grandmothers, like what were things that they were, you know, what points of advice could they give of becoming a father, and where were like their blind spots and what could they do better, what they wish they had done. And most of it came back to they all wish they had more kids, and they all wish that they were more available at the younger years.
Yeah.
And life goes fast. And that's, you hear that from everyone.
Yeah.
Like every senior says that. So enjoy that time before you know it, they're not there and you can't hold them anymore. But the biggest thing that I probably pulled from these people was you get a feeling of becoming a parent that you just can't describe, and it's undescribable. And yeah, that was probably the crux of it. And to be honest, all of that information actually helped me before having to walk. There's some experiences in life where you have to like go through yourself to experience it. You can be told all you want, but you actually have to walk through to find out what it is.
Totally, yeah.
But I actually believe that the information that I got from these people helped, you know, pre getting into it. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm grateful in that aspect. But hence, again, while we're here, you're now 35, 2 kids, 7-year-old starting school yesterday.
Pretty much, yeah. Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a new 4-year-old who had a piñata at his birthday, which my boy got to smash.
That's actually really fun. I really enjoyed me and your boy Kappa. We bonded pretty hard there. He's 4, eh?
He's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the man. We had a cool little bonding session, especially our knock jokes.
Oh, bro.
That was low key.
Yeah.
Cracked me up. I remember this one. I've laughed about it a few times, where I hit him with a zinger. I stung him with a knock joke, and even as a 4-year-old, you know, you could feel it sort of stung him. I hit him with the knock, who's there? I said, police. He goes, police who? I said, police brush your teeth because your breath smells like patero. And you could even, his little reaction, I still think about it, was like, oh. Even a 4-year-old was gutted that he felt told he had stink breath.
Yes, I brushed my teeth.
And then we just did knock jokes for ages. I could even see some of the other adults having a giggle. Yeah. I love that when I like win over. You know, some kids can be hard to win over, but I love it. And there was that turning point where like he looked at me, he's like, "What's your name?" You know, it's just like, yeah, I like you.
Yeah, what's your name? I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really fun.
Uncle Sam, you want to come fishing?
Yeah,
Come fishing
that's
with me?
right. I'm gonna stick to that. I said when
He actually asked me the next day, is Uncle Sam coming fishing today? And my friend, what's his name? Isaiah. Yeah. Right. The funny thing for me was watching my 4-year-old just lie on you on the couch, just strung out, watching the phone of your freaking fish that you caught, and your boy just sitting there like, my dad.
yeah.
Get off my dad. My dad, stop loving him.
Yeah, I saw that. I know I had to.
That's an awkward position to be in, right? Because it's like you say, it's nice to have a little human dote on you, and you're like, oh, this is cool. Like, I want to give that time back to you, but at the expense of my kid, like just hating the situation.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, yeah. My boy gets plenty of love. He knows I love him. But yeah, they have to manage it, man.
My boy was so comfortable opening up those presents. Like, get out of it, bro.
He was good though. He was
Out of it.
he was genuinely an enjoyable little kid. Good boy. All right, bro. There's a good question here. What kind of dad are you trying to be?
I'm trying to be a father who's present, stable,
Yeah.
rock solid at all times.
Yeah.
Child thinks my papa is a safety, like whole system. I can go to him for discipline. I can go to him for advice. I can go to him for nurturing. I can go to him for softness. I can go to him for kindness. I can go to him for direction. That's the father that I'm trying to be. And to do that, I am trying to do it by being strong in my own skin and my own identity, which I am 100%, bro. Like, I am so grateful to be Māori. I am so grateful to be full birth, be among the stars, and then be born on earth and get placed in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and become, you know, have toto blood. My blood is Māori. Like, I'm so grateful for that. I feel lucky because out of all the places I could have gone on earth, they chose me to be here. And I want to install that identity into my tamariki, my kids. And yeah, my 4-year-old's bilingual. He walks around half the week with a freaking vivid tamoko on his face, and he doesn't know any different. You know, that's his normal. And my wife is Samoan, and so they have a lot of Pacific blood in them, and I want them to be strong in their identity and not feel like that it's a hindrance because of like the crown sovereignty versus Māori at the moment, the te tiriti o Waitangi, and like the whole issues that we are facing in there. I don't want them to feel like by having Pacific blood in you, it's a hindrance. I want them to feel and know that it's their superpower. And by doing that, I have to represent that. So that's the father that I'm trying to be. Just lead with action, be comfortable in my skin and not fold on my moral compass and values. And just know that, like, first of all, establish good morals and establish good values and then stand on them. Like if I know that I'm not walking in spite of anyone else or wishing anyone, you know, ill health or bad faith or whatever, I know that I'm confident in how I conduct myself from there. But the one thing, bro, that like really made me like lock in was the feeling of, man, what if I was like a sit on the couch dad and be like, bro, you need to do this You need to go for a run. You need to be more disciplined in your life. You need to pull out your homework. You need to do these things. And then my kids turn around and be like, what did you do? What did you do? What risks did you take? Who were you? What hill did you stand on and fully believe in? What did you contribute to? And I thought to myself, if I died and I didn't resolve those questions, man, that would hurt. That would just hurt my heart for my kids to be like not inspired by me, for them to choose their risk-taking pathways and just being confident in themselves to do so. Because yeah, bro, this isn't hard. I just wake up at 5 and train, do my work through the day. You know, I harvest my own food, and like talking for my kids aspect, and I look for growth in myself, and I have all these hobbies and interests that are outdoors and active, and my dad was a huge part of it. This is normal for me. Is this hard? I didn't know this was hard. This is normal. And yeah, so I guess to wrap that up, that's who I'm trying to be for my kids.
That's beautiful, bro. Absolutely beautiful.
What about you?
Well, mine's very, very similar. It's very similar. I won't go on too long because you've just painted a beautiful picture there. But yeah, I just want to be that dude for my kids too. My kids think I'm the world's strongest man, you know, and I love that confidence they have in me. And when my kids are adults, if they come in to me for advice, they want to come over for dinner, that's perfect. That's winning for me. Yep. And I just want to be that solid dude. And it all starts. That's one thing that my wife is amazing. She's taught me a lot. She's a bookworm. She's a researcher, and I love where her morals are. It's all been with you know, our child's brain development, and what's good for what's good for kids, and how important a dad's role is to, well, a son and a daughter, and thing that's different. And I would say that's so high on my priority list, is nailing that. And so it's just been solid. You know, one of the best advice I got told was kids spell love Time, and that's so true. You just got to give them time, be there, be solid, and lead by example.
That was phenomenal.
Hey,
That was phenomenal. You got a wee tagline there.
yeah,
It's great.
shame on you.
That was great. What kind of highlights do you think that from your kids have made you the most proud? Or this is not maybe the most, but a couple of highlights.
Bro, I think one thing for me that like is really important to me is other adults genuinely enjoying my kids. And like we took Eva in for a school interview, and it was a genuine little interview, and she was nervous, and there was the teacher and the team leader, and they asked her a few questions, and you know, we let her talk. It's not like we tried to speak for her, and just her little answers, and I was just sort of like, I don't know, that's a measurement of success for me, is like if adults like your kids. Yeah, if they genuinely enjoy your kids, I'm like, yeah, they've done something right there. So moments like that, when they're respectful of adults and they're conscious of that, that's a big one that stands out. And then there's this lots of little milestones, but that's probably my biggest one that I could think of. How about you?
I'm not 100% sure, but there's one thing that just comes to my head. When we had our second child, he was born, and I took our first child to the hospital to see him in the Mama Recovery Unit in Rolleston, Aotearoa, I think it's called. And beautiful setup, by the way. Like, there's so many things you don't know before getting into parenthood about like just the birthing system, and then like your eyes open, you know, like just the way that they nurture the mothers to help them get, you know, on their feet and out the door with their kids. And the milk bank, that's a whole other story in itself. But anyway, I took our boy there, and he wasn't quite 2, and I was nervous, man. I was nervous, like, oh, he's gonna meet our new boy, and then just be like, nah, send him back. This is my space. Anyway, I walked into the room with him, and he looks in and he's like, oh, Papa, that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
And then he just started kissing him. And that was like, oh man, it was just such a cool, proud moment, because you envision a lifelong of best friends, especially like having known that we were going to have a second boy. And, you're like, cool. They're within a 2-year age gap. They're going to be best of friends. And even when they fight now, you still hold on to that. You're like, you don't know it, but that's your best friend. Like,
Yeah.
stop punching them in the head. Say, yeah, tap them out. That's probably the one thing that comes to my mind. Just moments like that. Parenthood gave me a great insight into what I enjoyed about my job and what I didn't enjoy about my job. As the listeners out there don't know, I'm a CrossFit coach and have a gym. And there was a point where my role was largely like working on the business, not really in the business. And you go through all these education and growth courses, and like, if you're not working on the business and you're in the business, you can't get growth. And like, how do you structure and expand and whatever? And so, I was like designing all of this business growth and just teaching coaches, and then the coaches would deliver. And I was stuck in an office, bro. That was my job. I was probably coaching once a week. And then I started to not enjoy it, and I couldn't figure out why. I had a baby came along. The simple things, your baby starts to fart, and you're like, oh, you farted, that's cool, like it's the first. And then your baby burps, and then your baby smiles, and then you get excited about that, and then your baby giggles, and your baby gets facial recognition and starts to recognize you. Then they figure out they've got hands, and I seen it as this blank canvas, and you vividly just see the brush strokes going on one at a time. And then they roll over, and then they walk, and all of these little milestone points. But I think going into parenthood, you think milestones are like walking, talking, playing, whatever, riding a bike. But there's so many more. Every single thing is a milestone. Every little piece of development is a stroke that wasn't there yesterday. And for me, that showed me that I loved the process. I loved watching my child develop and putting those strokes of paint onto the canvas to create the picture. Now, it made me realize that that's what I was missing, because in my job, when I show somebody movement, when I show them how to navigate a workout, when I show them to explore their body and find new positions and things like that, and by my cueing, and then it happens, you see the light bulb go on for that person, and that was the stroke added for them. And then that connection between you, and you've had this, you showed people many things.
Oh, yeah.
And when they get it, you bond that, and they're stoked and elated, and so you are for them.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized I was missing, because I was stuck in an office, but my child gave me that thought. And then so I quickly just took myself back to the floor. I was like, fuck this, I'm not stuck in here. This ain't me.
Yeah.
This ain't me. And so, you could expand it as much as you want, but if you're not enjoying it, don't do it. So it took me back to the floor, and it helped me articulate the thing that people say when you don't have kids. When you have kids, there's just a feeling and you can't explain it. And that same instance gave me my articulation for that point. It's just pride. And proud of every paintbrush stroke that goes on, and you get that feeling daily. So there's that, like, can't wait to get home and see what my kids learned and developed today. Weekly, monthly, yearly,
I'll rate that.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that was good. He painted a good picture, and I can I know exactly what you mean.
What's the hardest lesson that you've learned in your 30s so far? Being mid-30s now, and maybe not had realized that was on the horizon late 20s.
For me, probably realizing what I could have done a lot more, and if I had this mindset, 10 years ago, like, hindsight's wonderful. Just probably a little bit of that, really, and then just realizing, we're in our closer to 40s now, so it's just sort of like, I guess just seeing parents getting older, it's just reality is kicking in. It's just, you got to accept that. For me, it's just that, really. I can't think of anything else. What about you?
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it. Like, I mean, it sucks to live a life full of hindsight. It sucks to live a life full of what ifs and shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And I guess that would probably be my, touch point to say to the young 20-year-olds is get after it, say yes to everything, do as much of it as you can, because at some point you'll just be restricted for whatever life balance. When you have partner, when you have kids, when you have a family, now you've got so many other people's time to consider. You've got their wants and needs, and often you have to put yours on the back burner. So yeah, before 30, generally, around that 30 mark is family stage, just do as much of it as you can. But yeah, me being mid-30s, it's like it just creeps up. All of a sudden you're here.
Yeah.
And
Getting your priorities in order. There's a lot of time wasted, man. I can go back. It was good, like, it's not like we should be regimented all through your 20s, and like, it's good to be free and creative and just be. But yeah, definitely priorities could have been in a better spot. Probably had a bit more of a end goal focus, and some people were goal focused. I wasn't too much. I always knew I was on a solid path, doing good stuff, and everything will be good, but could have been better.
like, I mean, watching your journey, because I've probably seen most of your 20s.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saying not goal focus is fair to yourself, because I watched you buy properties, I watched you renovate properties, I watched you sell properties, I watched you take on good roles and jobs, I watched you train hard for competitions and succeed in those competitions. Those all, like, whether you consider it or not, a goal orientated, it helps you get up the next day. I watched you build a dream home, I watched you go through all of these things, and maybe you didn't write it on the wall and have a vision board to it as such, but you were grafting for those things.
Yep.
Which is essentially a goal, right?
No, you're right. You're right. I've always been hard on myself with stuff like that, but yeah, I winged it, but I winged it pretty good.
Oh, you don't have a goal, you can't fail, right? Yeah, just wake up clumsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, don't be so hard on yourself. But yeah, like you say, it's you don't want to be so regimented through your 20s, but regimented to the point of like resentful.
Yeah.
Of like, fuck, all I did was just stick to myself in isolation and, color between the lines, and now I wish I'd done more and I can't. Or you try and do it now at a later stage. Yeah, that happens too. Being in your 20s, you have to filter through the muck, right? Like, your food palate still isn't even fully determined. You might not even have tasted your favorite food yet.
Yeah.
You have to go out and experience these things. You might not know what freaking interior design color matches what, and you don't know that you enjoy those things either. So there's so much work that is still, or data gathering, that you're still inputting. And I think that by the time you are mid-30s, you should have enough confidence to still allow that growth portion of in your life of like, hey, there's things that I don't know, and I'm prepared that if more information comes into my life or I get new experiences, that I can enjoy those more than the things that I currently have. That's okay. But also have like, an 80, 90% substantial, I guess, solid base. So like, yeah, I know I like teriyaki food and I don't like sweet and sour. That's a given. I've tried it 5 times, not for me. I know that I like the beach, but not the snow. Like, you can be confident in some of those things. And I think just getting those definitive points, but having enough room for allowing more things to come into your life. but not at the expense of some certainties. That's it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's it.
Actually, I think I'd probably add, if I could go back in time, I definitely would have probably just planned timing around having kids and settling down. I would have liked to just create my nest, be comfortable, have my home, minimize financial stress, and then just have my home to raise kids. And we've moved a lot, and that's hard. That's hard on a relationship. It's hard on a young family, moving a lot, and that's one thing I wish I probably planned better. I had more foresight.
Yep.
And that's our story, and it's our little journey, and we've grown so much in those moments, going through that stress. And life can't always be comfortable. You got to go through some hard shit. But that's probably what I do differently, is probably just have a solid base. Yeah.
What if you can't? What if you end up having kids before that point? Then how do you not be resentful, wishing that you got to a certain place in your life before the situation? You're like, fuck, it should have been marriage, house, career, kids. And if you don't get that order, what if you get kids first and then those other things are still in there,
Then you just got to lock in, accept it, and own it, and do the best that you possibly can.
So let's say there's a young 22-year-old out there and they're going through that situation, they've got a kid or more, and their mind's still spiraling of what do I want to do in life? Where's my situation at financially? Do I own a house? And that weighs me down if I don't. What if it's the social pressure of having to have all of these checkpoints anyway?
Yeah.
I still got car payments and...
I would say, man, you just got to surround yourself with good people that have your best interests, that are role models, and when things get hard, you've got someone solid you can go to for advice, and good advice, because there's heaps of shit advice out there, and there's lots of people that will give you their advice, and some people, you don't need to hear it, and it's a judgment call where you have to determine who those people are for you. You surround yourself with 4 good people, you're going to become the 5th good person. That's why I see it. You surround yourself with dusty people, you're going to be a little bit dusty.
Yeah. Kind of leads me into thinking, what's your thoughts on the victimhood mentality? Because that's ultimately what that person could be stuck in, right? I'm in this situation, I need to find better people. My situation was shit, and that's all I'm projecting out now. I want this, but I can't be it. I'm buying vapes, drinking every weekend or maybe even more frequent, and have a baby, the whole trifecta really. But how do you get someone out of that victimhood mentality?
You can't control that. It's totally on them. That's what I've found. So you can lead a horse to water, but man, I've wasted too many times trying to get them to drink, or you can't. You just lead by example, I feel, by showing them through your sort of fruit, the way you do things. And if they like what they see, man, I want to be like that fella, I want to be like her. What are they doing that I'm not? They have to come to that by themselves. That's what I've found. You can babysit people all you want, but at the end of the day, I'm getting a little bit short with.
People. Well, yeah. I mean, there's too much on the cost price is too high now.
Yeah.
You're I'm sacrificing this to support you, and the sacrifice is my family time, my personal interests and health, my potential for financial freedom, and I'm giving you this, and that's how you're treating it. I guess we've now shifted from being the point of view of the victim, having the victimhood mentality to be in the support system and network, which we often are, that, you know, just our natural plays in our communities. Speaking from like the support person, for me, I cannot be more invested in your journey than you. If you want my support and I'm meeting you there and you're falling off the rails every other week, I'm disinvesting. I'm out. I'm out. Show me some freaking substance. Show me some commitment. Show me some consistency. Like your actions speak louder than words. I will buy into it, but I ain't seeing what you're saying. So that's the whole thing for me. And like you say, well, you got to know as a support person when to cut it off or when to exit that. You're on your own. Like I've given what I can, and until at least until you're here, and not here for one day. Anyone can be good for 10 minutes, for 10 days, for a month. Show me consistent habits over an extended period of time, and I'll reinvest. You know. But I guess from like the victim's mentality, how do you get out of that? I'm like looking at my own personal journey, you know, like I grew up, a lot of people around us, broken homes, single parents, gangs and violence, drugs, alcohol, the whole shebang, you know, from like age 11. And that was my environment. Frick, I was in the courtroom facing jail time at 17. That was my normal. Everyone was, you know. And how did I get out of there and not keep pointing myself as the victim or normalizing it? To this day, I don't know. I don't know. I think tolls. I think tolls really help. So I guess you found a good person. Found a good person to keep me on straight and narrow. Yeah. Learning what I could control and what I couldn't. I couldn't control myself, you know. And then I look at my life. It was like that from day one.
She sees your blind spots, eh? That's what you need.
But I remember we went out to town for like maybe 15 years. No, not 15. Maybe 10 years ago or so. And man, I might go to town like once a year. I don't even anymore. Maybe once every 3. But we were in town and I had this like nice outfit on. I had like a $300, $400 blazer jacket on with this Calvin Klein t-shirt, you know? And this bouncer, this chick was like, you can't come in here because you don't have a collared shirt. And I was like, oh man, like that's the reason? Like I've got, I'm going to spend money. We're having a good time with people. I'm not drunk. I don't know if a $30 collared shirt is going to make a difference versus this $400 blazer or whatever. She's like, you're absolutely not coming in. Then all the bouncers came over and were like pointing at me and starting to like, yeah, get him out of here. We weren't even in the working club. And then I sensed that and I was like, I just went off. I was like, fuck. I said to Taz, I'm going to take all of them on right now. And then it got to that point and then she got in my face and she's like, you can't get arrested again. We won't be able to travel. And then I like snapped. I was like, whoa. Yeah, you're right. But like without that, I would have just been like, let's go. How many can I, like, what's going to happen? I don't know. Oh yeah, I'll try my best. But that was the mentality, you know? So yeah, I think I'm just lucky that I had
100%. Yeah, someone
a
that,
guide dog.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there's been so many times that I've run scenarios through my head and yeah, that they could lead to jail or court time or, you know, just stupid stuff just through trying to be the man.
But you've had enough awareness to choose the fork in the road?
Yeah. 100%. But that's always been an itch that dudes like us always love to scratch. And that's why we've always like, it's not good to fight, but we love adrenaline. That's the cool thing about rugby, especially Div 3. That's just those little moments.
Yeah.
Come on then, yeah. Run it straight.
Yeah, I had a fight, not last year, but the year before in a rugby game. And I was keen to like, and he was, and he actually landed a punch on me, which I was like gutted as about. but I got a few on him. And then the ref just broke it up. But after the game, I was actually really disappointed because he was a Māori follower as well.
Yeah.
I was like, why did we just fight each other?
Yeah.
We're just brothers, you know?
Yeah.
We dapped up after the game though. It was all good. There's leave it on the field type thing. But yeah, I was like disheartened in myself for fighting someone who looked like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're a little speckle on the map of the world. I was fighting my neighbor. But prior to that, I was just keen. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go.
It's innate. It's ingrained.
Yeah.
Here's a question. If you and I had 100 scraps, 100 fights, how many do you win?
Oh, I reckon all of them. I just don't think you have enough fight experience.
Bro, you don't have a chance. I reckon I win 99 and you get one by default because I'm sick that day.
There we go.
I reckon, yeah.
You've only been in a fight outside the casino where you just ran around.
Oh,
You were goose stepping. You told me the whole thing like 25 times now.
stupid. And my mate got put in Blinden Hospital. Yeah, I reckon I submit you like 55 times, put you to sleep, and then
Every fight,
every other one
was just
yeah, but I TKO you probably 40 something time.
Bro, listen.
I've won every wrestle that we've had.
No, you have not. You absolutely have not. What are you trying to turn this into? Bro, move to the table.
It'll happen. I love our wrestles. I reckon they're important.
Yeah.
We need to have one annually, I reckon.
Oh, weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it probably
Tomorrow, let's fucking
probably
this
needs
tomorrow.
to become part of the podcast, to be honest with you.
Fair, let's do it. Yeah.
Mats, rules, and yeah. Just
Nah, let's just have a grab.
should we get some gloves
Yeah.
and some shin pads? Because I'll kick you.
Yeah. Shin pad they have to have only.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking wearing that. Just for the fun of it. I'm not fucking taking some
Shin beatings. Okay. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, now you've got me geared up.
You reckon you got me a hundy out of hundy, and I reckon I've got you. I think people want to see it.
That's how it has to be.
Okay.
Done. Deal.
Yeah. Kempy and I sold our souls last night. Oh, are you there? You witnessed it.
I got it on my phone.
It cracks me up like how I spoke last week about what's important to me in training, and it's still been athletic. I know I'm not going to be the best, and I want to compete at New Zealand Nationals and try to take on Ben Fowler and all those dudes that are killing it. But one thing I like is like Aiden Tiwaka. Doesn't mean just dishing out fades, and especially if it's the other has-beens, with the other bros just dishing them out. And it was always good to get one up on Kempy last time, and that was a lung buster. Like I've never seen him like hurt like that.
Yeah, he was defeated.
Yeah, but the cool thing was when it came down to it and he had a choice, when he was tapped out, he still chose to try and chase me down when I was just a little bit ahead of him, and that, the final piece. And that was cool. And like, 'cause I was hurting and I could see his power output, and I'm like, he's coming for me.
Yeah.
That was cool. And his mentality's always been on. That's why I've always loved him.
Yeah, he's a dog, bro.
Yeah.
He is not afraid to walk in fire. He's a dog. My point of view on this angle, so this workout that we're talking about finished with a 50-calorie row. And Sam was on it, on the rowing machine, 6 cows on his clock. And then Kempy jumps on the rowing machine, and Kempy is the rower. And we all know it. And then you're sitting there on 1300 and you're thinking, I don't know if this is enough of a buffer.
Yeah.
I know you're thinking that.
Yeah.
And you're still at a moderate threshold, because you know if you have to go to that place, you can't start at that place. So you're going to gauge off his start.
Yeah.
He jumps on, and he knew he's like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking chase this cunt.
Yeah.
Now. And he started at like 1700, and he got within 3 cows
I know.
by like 18. And I was like,
oh, this is yours, bro. Oh,
yeah, and your clock had gone up to 1450.
yeah.
And then his slowly came down. I was like, oh, is he just settling in
Yeah.
and gonna kick? And then he got to 25, 26 out of 50. He goes, fuck! And it just did stop the roll.
I was slightly.
And that was your cue.
Yeah.
That was your cue, he's done.
Yeah.
And as much as you're done, it can give you like, I can take this up 50.
Yeah.
Because then he's really gonna get off my tail.
Yeah.
And then I can cruise out the end.
Did.
Yeah, but like you said, to his credit, he finished it. It's still like, what, 1300 pull.
Yeah. He's still finished
Correct.
meantime.
But yeah, you don't have to be the best in the country or world to still have moments that inspire you because you grew from those moments. And when you can get those amongst your peers, that's even better. That makes you want to turn up and do it again with them day after day, week after week.
Definitely.
I've always thought that like it's more fun to watch, say, like an intermediate competition where they're competent at the movements that are given to them, and there is a tight-knit race between 2 or more people, and the intensity of what they're working at, like they're hauling ass, they're quite spent on it,
Yeah.
and they just get over the finish line with all of their might, but it was a tight race. That to me is more, I guess, thrilling to watch or experience than it is to watch an elite just like taper off and smoke everyone. And there's there's no real, not the entertainment factor, because the entertainment in that aspect is like just watching someone do something at a crazy speed is just sheer impressive. But when there's no measure stick or race or like risk taking, you know, that's exhilarating.
Yeah.
And so that's what yesterday was.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. And I love like that's probably one of the coolest parts about my job. When you get to see that happen and you, in a class, and it could be any class, and you watch it and then you try and encourage it. Like I jumped in behind you and I was like, push each other, boy.
Yeah.
Push each other, boy.
You got in his ear. When I was pulling, I could, as he was sitting down, I don't know what you said, but it was like, go get him, or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, you have a crack, and do your work early. Don't leave it to the end because it will be too late.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
Terrible advice.
well, and for you though, like, man, the cost price of you doing that workout was you didn't get off the floor for maybe 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I had to pull you up.
Yeah.
And then you sat back down.
Yeah. I went cold.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I actually thought about it. I was like, fuck, I wonder how he's driving home. When I was there.
Yeah.